The message appeared in Sam's inbox one misty morning in Edinburgh. Did you know the final scene of The Echo Line was never released? I have the original. There was no return address, just an encrypted attachment. Sam thought it was spam, but when he looked closely, he noticed the small print in the subject line. Scene 47B, Balfe's version. His heart sank. Only one person knew that phrase, Caitriona. 2 months ago, they had finished an independent film called The Echo Line. A film about memory, lies, and two people caught between reality and fantasy. All the actors and crew had signed a confidentiality agreement because the script involved elements of real-life events. But shot 47B, the last scene they shot, never made it into the final cut. Caitriona had said, "It's too real, Sam. Maybe the audience shouldn't see it." She avoided further comment, leaving only a strange look before leaving the set on the last night. Sam turned on the camera, trying to decipher the file. As the video played, the image was blurry. A pale blue light, a slight shake as if filmed secretly. Caitriona in her character's costume, her hair disheveled, her eyes worried. She was talking to himself. But Sam didn't remember filming the scene. She says in the video, "If you got this, it means they cut it. They didn't want anyone to know what happened next. Don't trust the director, Sam. Look closely at that night." Then the screen blurs. Another voice cuts in. Someone from the crew, "Hang up. Don't keep this." That night, Sam drives to the old suburban house where the crew used to live. Inside, a few loosely hung script boards, a dry coffee cup on the table. He opens his phone, plays the video again. At that moment, footsteps sound behind him. "You got it too?" Caitriona stands in the doorway, her long coat on, her hair wet from the rain. Her gaze is both tired and determined. "Kate, what's going on?" She's silent for a few seconds, then whispers. "That scene isn't just a movie. Someone on the crew recorded something that shouldn't have been recorded." Sam stepped back, trying to understand. "You mean, they actually filmed us?" "No, they filmed, after the scene ended." She recounted. After the director called cut, they were still sitting on set, the lights still on. Sam said a few words off script, genuine, emotional, as if he were speaking to her, not to the character. A cameraman left the camera rolling, and it became one of the most unauthorized but emotional moments of the film. Someone later copied it, and then disappeared. "I see," Sam breathed. "It wasn't just a scene. It was real." Caitriona opened her bag and took out another USB. "There are 2 copies. One was sent to you, one was sent to me. I think someone was testing how we would react." Scrawled on the USB stick was a line of text. "If you remember that night, you'll understand the message." Sam and Caitriona looked at each other. They both remembered that night, the pouring rain, the sound of the guitars echoing from the studio, and the moment when they didn't know if they were acting or living. "What should we do?" Sam asked. "Nobody knows, but maybe we need to watch the whole thing before we decide." They plugged the USB into the big screen in the living room. The image appeared clearer than before. The camera panned backstage, the director, the lights, and Sam himself. No longer in character, no longer speaking. He bowed his head, took Caitriona's hand, and said something quietly that made her cry. Then, footsteps. Someone else entered the frame. A strange man in a black jacket, wearing a production badge. He held a backup camera, panned it toward them, and whispered, "Enough. We have what we need." The screen went black. "Don't you recognize him?" Caitriona's voice trembled. Sam nodded slowly. "He was the assistant director. But I thought he was fired in the first week." "No, he disappeared before the movie wrapped. And now someone is leaking this footage." The next day, a series of anonymous websites began posting stills from the tape, accompanied by the caption, "The scene they never wanted you to see." The media began to suspect. They called the studio, but the studio denied it. Sam and Caitriona remained silent. In a short interview afterward, when a reporter asked about the leak, Caitriona only replied with a faint smile. "Sometimes the most real thing is in the deleted part." The statement made the audience feverish. The hashtag vanished scene flooded social media. A week later, Sam received a small, anonymous package. Inside was a Polaroid photo of that night's shooting scene. He and Caitriona sitting next to each other. Behind him was a man in a black jacket. On the back of the photo was the caption, "Part 2 starts filming soon." No one knew who was behind it. No one knew what was real, fake, where the line was. But one thing is for sure, Scene 47B never really ended. 3 days later, Sam met Caitriona in a small cafe in London's West End. No bodyguards, no managers, just the two of them, watching warily. The news of Scene 47B had spread far and wide, and they both knew someone was controlling things from the shadows. "Did you see the photo?" Caitriona asked, stirring her coffee for the 5th time. Sam nodded. The words on the back, "Part 2 starts filming soon," like this was a real project. Caitriona looked up, her gaze determined. "If that's true, we're not actors anymore. We're their characters." That night, Sam couldn't sleep. He played the video again, but noticed a detail he'd missed. Reflected in the mirror behind the scene was a symbol, a triangle with a slash through it. He dug through old behind-the-scenes photos and found the symbol repeatedly on props, on the director's chair, on note cards, even on the shirts of some of the crew. The next morning, he called an old friend from the crew, a sound engineer named Marcus. After a few moments of hesitation, Marcus agreed to meet at the South Thames docks. Marcus arrived late, thin, his eyes furtive. He handed Sam a small hard drive. "This is the original recording of Scene 47B, but it doesn't match the picture." "It doesn't match?" Sam asked. Marcus swallowed. "There's a third voice, someone whispering something after the director said, 'Cut.'" Sam plugged in his headphones and played the recording. The sound of rain, Caitriona's breathing, then, a deep male voice. "Cut the light. Let them keep talking." He shivered. It wasn't the director, and certainly not an official member of the delegation. That night, Sam brought the hard drive to Caitriona's house. Her apartment was quiet, the curtains drawn. She listened to the recording and paled. "That voice. I've heard it before. Who is it?" "The executive producer. The one who pulled out mid-production. If I remember correctly," he said, "a little bit of truth sometimes sells more tickets than a perfect movie." They looked at each other, knowing that Part 2 could be a continuation of the manipulation they were being dragged into. Caitriona turned on her computer and accessed the film's archive, which she still had temporary access to. In the file list, there was a hidden folder named 47B_RAW. When decrypted, a series of videos appeared, not just of the final scene, but also of their everyday moments on set, breaks, private conversations. Someone had been secretly filming it all, for months. "Oh my God," Sam muttered, "they're going to make a whole story out of our real lives." Caitriona said softly, "Not going to, Sam. They're doing it." Among the videos, there was one particular one. A man's hand scribbled on a board. 47B is only the beginning. Merge real with fiction. Below was the date, a week before the first tape was sent to them. At that moment, the window blew open in the wind, and an envelope fell to the floor. No one was on the balcony. Inside the envelope was a small silver USB stick. The inscription read, "Final Cut." "I feel like we're being watched," Sam said hoarsely. Caitriona nodded, plugging the USB stick into the computer. The screen showed a new video, of them sitting in this apartment, the exact pose, the exact light, the exact gestures. But the scariest thing, The timestamp on the file was 2 hours ago. Caitriona gasped. Oh my God, someone's filming live. Sam rushed out to check the room, but saw no cameras. When he turned back, the video on the screen changed, now showing Sam searching the room. Then the words appeared in the corner of the screen. The show must go on. Sam's phone rang. Unknown number. He put it on speaker. A man's voice came from the other end, eerily calm. Thanks for your cooperation. You guys are great. Come to the old studio tomorrow at midnight if you want to know the ending. Just one more scene. Caitriona looked at him, her breath shaking. Shall we go? Sam pursed his lips, his eyes cold as steel. Yes, but this time, they won't be the directors. The next night, it was raining like the last filming of the Echo Line. They returned to the abandoned studio, the old neon lights flickering faintly. From afar, the wooden house that had been built for the film was still there, covered in dust and vines. On the main door, a line of red letters read, Scene 48, the end. Inside, the camera was in the middle of the room, turned on. The small screen showed the image of them just entering. A voice came from the speaker. The emotions are unscripted. Thank you for coming back. The lights flickered. A figure appeared behind them, the executive producer, who had disappeared. He laughed. Don't you understand? This whole project is real. From the moment the file was sent, you became part of the movie. The audience is watching. No one has permission to film us. Sam shouted. He just shrugged. You signed the contract. They just made a few changes, added some truth to the script. Caitriona stepped forward, her eyes determined. Then let us rewrite the ending. She yanked the power cord. Everything went black. Silence filled the room. A red emergency light flashed, illuminating the two people standing in the dusty mist. They didn't know if they had broken the system, or just stepped deeper into someone else's movie. The next morning, the set was empty. No Sam, no Caitriona. But on the anonymous YouTube channel, the Echo Line _Reel, a new video appeared with the title. Scene 48, the end, final cut. Views increased by millions in just a few hours. In the video, there was only the tilted camera, the sound of rain falling and two voices mixed together in the darkness. We're still being filmed, right? No, this time we're filming them. The screen went black. The text slowly appeared. To be continued?